guys. October was just a really weird month, and I'm having trouble getting into the swing of things, but we're back. I have a video. It's not an exciting one. It's not a very long one either, because I've got problems that you'll find out about. But first, it was really funny. My daughter, they were doing some costume party thing last night. Yeah, it was last night. And she needed a teapot, and I was like, well, go get the one out of the edifice, because it's black and it'll go with anything, and it's metal, so it's not gonna break or anything. And she's like, well, where? And I'm like, well, it's on top of the heater, forgetting that I had my fan on top of the heater and it was behind the heater for the summer, right? So I had to pull out, put the fan away, pull out the thing, as you can see. And, now I understand why they came through with my white teapot from the cupboard in the house. And I just realized they didn't bring that back in. I hope it made it. It's my Franciscan ware teapot that was my mom's. Oh, well, it's just stuff. So if something happened, I think she'd have told me. But still, it's just stuff, and I'm not going to worry about it. But so I had to do some cleanup, and I had to do some, moving stuff around and pulling out books for November. And when I went to start it all, I like to change my calendar, and I realized I never changed October. What was with that? I mean, really, who doesn't change the calendar over? So that was kind of interesting. And now I'm down to one book for the 2024 Reach Bookshelf Challenge. I'm still behind on that and Trollope, although I'm almost caught up on Trollope. We'll get to that in a minute. But, it's kind of sort of weird time right now, guys. That's just all I can say. It's just a really weird time. But that's okay. I started recording my Christmas recommendation shorts that I'm going to be doing. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tonight. So the first 7 are up. I'm going for 24. We'll see if I make it. I've got 2 more in here that I want to go through a little bit more and kind of understand. But I'm getting ready for December. But I want to just totally enjoy right now, and, just embrace November as a month of Thanksgiving and a month of gratitude and a month of just, it's getting cool. That was one of the reasons it was time to put the fan away. I haven't used, we closed up our swamp cooler so no cold air can come in. That'll get us probably might get us to December before we have to turn on our heater. Maybe. It's been pretty chilly at night, and it's supposed to get into the 30s this week. That's going to be a little iffy, but during the day it gets back up to the 60s. So all the fingers and toes and nose hairs crossed, right? So there's that. But then, when I go for a walk at night, I'm having to layer up, and then, sometimes I shed one of those layers and sometimes I don't. So it's just, it's all very strange and different. So I have it, I've got my little fireplace going, and I don't have the heater actually turned on. I'm just enjoying the fireplace look of my little, electric heater that looks like a fireplace. It looks like a wood stove, But, all the fun stuff, it's here, and I want to enjoy it. But I also want to prepare for December so that I am not, even if some terrible thing happens again this year, please, Lord, no, we've had enough. But if for some reason something terrible does happen, I will have some stuff already videoed so that I'm not just disappearing off the face of the earth every other week. Right now, I'm in the middle of writing. We released a couple of books, and those are out, but now I've got to get this book done. We've got Mismatched from the Agency Files. It is being put up chapter a day over on Krista Del Sorbo's YouTube channel, and I'll put the link in there. Guys, please, if you would just go over there and subscribe, it would really help. She can't get paid until she gets enough subscribers, and she's doing all this work. I would like her to get paid, so and she's doing it without making me just fork over all the dollars up front, which I really appreciate, because that's a lot of dollars. So if you don't hit that bell thing that they're always saying, ring the bell. Yeah, don't. If you don't hit that, they won't bug you. So I say subscribe, but don't hit the bell. I don't get any notifications except for replies to my comments because I don't have any channels with that little bell thingy. And so it doesn't really bother you, but it really does help her. Just throwing that out there. But, we got all of the Island series, all of my Ever After mysteries, and now this is the third of my Agency Files books that she's got up there free. You can just listen to them free. She puts one chapter a day, and then at the end of the month, she puts the entire book up. So depending on how you're listening, I mean, if you're working around the house, chapter at a time is really nice because you know where you left off. Even if you forget the chapter number, you can see a little red bar going, oh yeah, I know where I left off. It doesn't always work on the whole book to do that. And so I like, depending on what I'm doing, I like to do that. But if I'm in a car, I want the whole book. I don't want to have to be like, going through a playlist and then listening to all the commercials, except she doesn't have any commercials right now, so you're safe. But, all that fun stuff. So please, if you would take a minute and go over, we would so appreciate you. But it's TBR time, and this is it's kind of pathetic, guys. So a little bit of an update. I just finished The Curate of Glaston. Those 3 books. The Baron's Apprentice was the last one, and I was only a few chapters. I didn't realize there was only a couple of chapters left, and so I finished that tonight. So it's up there. I'm an hour and a half, I think, done from listening to Phineas Redux, which I'm actually liking better than Phineas Finn. I'm a little annoyed at him, but not in the same way. He's actually becoming more of a man. I'm kind of pouting a little bit right now, but understandably so, and yet no. I mean, so sorry, you're 40 years old, quit pouting. But on the other hand, he's been through a lot in this book. So that book is almost done, and then I can start my Palliser for this month, which is the Prime Minister. I am so dreading this one. There's been a lot of political things in this Phineas Redux, but it's not as heavy political as some of Trollope's other books. And so, yeah. Okay, this book I don't think was ever read because it has a newer smell. It doesn't have as much of the mustiness that some of the other ones do. Interesting. But anyway, so I'm supposed to be reading this one this month, and I'm really excited about it because that means I have one more. And from what I understand, the last one in this series is really good. So I'm hoping, I'm praying. But someone, was it Katie from Books and Things? I think she didn't like Phineas Redux, and I actually like it better than Phineas Finn. So I don't know. We'll see. But I will say, and I can't wait to get to talk about it when I get to a wrap up. But I will say that I was really, really, really annoyed with Lady Laura and sympathetic to her husband in that book. I'm assuming it was Phineas Finn. Pretty sure it was Phineas Finn. Now this Redux, in this one I have switched. And while I'm not super fond of Lady Laura, still have issues with her, her husband has lost all my sympathy. So that was kind of fun, because I could tell Trollope wanted me to, support her and be against him. And I couldn't be, because what we saw in that book, he knew what was coming. And so he could, but what he showed us in there, I was with him. So it was kind of cool to kind of flip a little bit on that. I'm still not a big fan of hers, but I'm not a fan of his either now. So that was kind of cool. So this month, there's a lot going on. There's the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. There's more Montgomery, which I plan to read at least something. I've got a Tangled Web coming. I didn't know that. I was surprised. So I've got that one coming. I'll be reading at least the read along, right? And then there's Nonfiction November, which I'm going to do When Books Went to War, the one I was supposed to read last month. Yeah, I'm going to do it. But I'm going to do it this month since I didn't get to it last month. Last month was almost all audio. It was crazy. But so When Books Went to War, this will be one of my nonfictions. There will be 2 nonfictions. The other one will be from the C.S. Lewis I don't know if it's a readathon, a challenge, or what, but they're doing a C.S. Lewis event, In Search of Wonder and a few others. And that book is Miracles, which I'll just have to sit up here because I didn't pull it out before I came in here, and I'm not going back to get it. So, but yeah, so I'll be reading When Books Go to War again. This time we'll actually get this thing read. And there's a lot. I didn't realize this until just now. But so like there's this afterword and there's the acknowledgments. And then from here on, so a significant portion of this book is an appendix. And so there's a lot of pictures in it. So I'm thinking I should be able to read this. I hope. So that's these two plus Miracles. And then I have one other book on my TBR this month. And I blame Chantal for this. She said a book that intimidates you. And like the rocket scientist I am, I decided to read The Brothers Karamazov in November. What was I not thinking? But I'm going to do it. I got an audio so I can do both. But my copy here has some pretty small print. Oh, that page has been taped. Interesting. But it has some pretty small print. Ooh, and it is, I'm going to have to do some repair. Look at that. I bought it used. Wow. But I will be listening to a lot of it. I know. I have to. But, yeah, it's going to be pretty intense. So I really think that these 4 books, plus Miracles, this is it. This is my little TBR. I can't attempt to read anything else. I have a few books on my stack over there. I have Everything Was Just Beginning by Aaron Bartels. I'm not done with that. I'm almost done with that, but I'm not done with that. And so for a break, I'll have that. And The Blooming of Delphinium, I haven't gotten to finish either. So that's over there if I just have to have something else. But I have these 3 books. It's a very dark TBR. Look at that. Fortunately, my Miracles is very bright and light. And Toothless, don't you even think about it. He's wanting to jump on the chair, but my laptop is on the chair. So the answer is no. So I will probably listen to some of this on my walks, but I suspect I will be listening to mysteries instead most of the time, because when a car does go by, I lose some of the sound, and I'm gonna have to pay really, really, really close attention to Karamazov in particular. This one I can probably do more with, but Karamazov is gonna be hard for me because no. Karamazov is going to be hard. You know, there's a lot to take in and pay attention to. So I don't think I want to risk that because I don't want to stop and have to rewind. And here's the deal, guys. When I exercise, walking isn't as bad, but it does happen if I'm you know, making an effort to speed up or go uphill or something. And I will be doing some of that in November. I start walking up the College Hill a couple of times this month. So, you know, I'm hoping for twice a week. We'll see if I actually do it. And it's a steep hill. Most of our hills are just inclines in town. You know, you start going, it's a long, slow incline. But the College Hill, when my husband gets to the top of that hill and he just starts going down on his bicycle, he's gotten to 45 miles an hour without actually pedaling. We don't ever have to put our foot on the gas at all, and we end up going over the speed limit in our cars because it is really a steep hill. So my goal is twice a week to walk that hill and, you know, just to get some heavier endurance, right? Well, if I have to concentrate on breathing and I forget to breathe when I exercise, that's my problem. I figured out that was probably why I passed out as a kid in PE. I always thought it was the sun. But I think I did that when I was a kid too. I forget to breathe. I'm focusing so much on what I'm doing that I actually forget to breathe and then I pass out. I don't want to be passing out at 2:33 in the morning going up a hill and because I'm listening to this book and I'm not, focusing on the breathing. So if it's a mystery, I don't care. Worst case scenario, I listen over again. I don't want to have to do this over again. So this is it. This is my November TBR plus miracles. That's it. It's a little TBR, but both of these books have massive numbers of pages. Let me see if this will tell me how many pages are in it. Problem is that sometimes there's multiple books, and if that's the case, yeah, see, it starts over. So we have 381 and 380. So that's 7, or is that 386? Yeah, so that's 767 pages in this one, and they're pretty thin pages. The typeface is not super small, no, and it's not super dense. There is spacing, but there's a lot of pages in there. When books went to war, that's not going to be a big deal, but Miracles by Lewis, I know I'm going to have to really pay close attention to. So that's going to be hard. The pages in this one must be pretty thick because it says it has 729 pages and it doesn't look like they restart. So, it's a much bigger book, obviously, height-wise and width-wise. But, yeah. They're both going to be kind of chunkers, and it's going to be a lot of work. So that's it. That is my TBR. This is it. I would love to read other things this month. I hope I can. But my goal is to have these done no matter what, unless something gets DNF'd. And if I have a DNF in the middle, if I get in the middle of this and I have no idea what's happening, I may have to DNF it and try something else that intimidates me. I don't know what that would be. Maybe, I don't know. I'll figure something out. It doesn't have to be big to be intimidating. But when that came out, I hadn't had this long, and that definitely felt intimidating. So, that's what I wanted, and that's what I'm doing. But, yeah. This is my little TBR, but there's an awful lot of pages in here. This is at least the equivalent of 2 books. And this is the equivalent of 2 books. And so that's, 2, 4, 5, 6 books right there. Just with those. And this one I have to pay really close attention to. This one, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about this one. So I don't know what's going to happen with these. We shall see. We shall see. But that's what I'm reading in November. That's it. That's all there is to it. There's an update. There's my little TBR. and there we have it. What about you? What are you reading? I haven't even gotten to watch most of my BookTube gals yet, so I want to get in there and see what's going on. Oh, and a Tangled Web. I forgot. A Tangled Web I do want to read. I had to set aside the buzzword because I can't catch up. So it's like, okay, well, whatever. Right now I'm behind like 12 books or something like that, behind on my annual thing on Goodreads, but I haven't put in my rereads of the Harry Potter books, most of them. I think I put 2 of them in, but I haven't put the rest of them in. And I did go through the rest of those in October. So there's all that. There are some that haven't made it yet. But like The Curative Glaston, that's 3 books. So I'm going to catch up really fast. But right now, I'm like 12 books behind. So that's going to be fun. But see, this one only counts as 1. This hunger. But yeah. Anyway, this is it. This is all I got for you. I'm sorry, but I should be back on Thursday, and I've got lots of fun stuff planned for me, and hopefully you have lots of stuff planned for you for November. And yeah, I'll see you around. I got to do a wrap up, but I was waiting to finish that and Phineas Redux before I did my wrap up. So maybe on Thursday. Wait, no, I'm not promising anything. I keep forgetting Thursday exists. This week, okay, so this week, you should have had a video on Thursday, but I was tired, and I'm like, forget it. I'm just going to do it on, because that would have been Wednesday night for Thursday, right? I was like, oh, forget it. I'll do it, Thursday night, and it'll go up Friday. So what? Who cares what day it is? It doesn't matter, right? Yeah, well, my podcast editor got sick, so guess who had to edit the podcast? And for that, yeah, I couldn't do it. So I thought about Saturday. I'm like, no, if I can't, I can't, and I'm not going to put that pressure on me, because I want to enjoy this, and I do, and I want to keep it that way. So there you have it. That's what I got for you, and I hope you have a great week and read some awesome books, and do tell me what I need to put on my radar. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got 11 books over there that have come in, so I should also have a book haul coming soon. Maybe I'll combine that with my wrap-up, since I haven't read very much. I mean, do I really want to go through each of the Harry Potters going, yes, this is what I read, and this is what the book's about? We all know what the book's about if we care to, and if we don't care to, then what's the point? So yeah, I'm not going to really do a recap, just not on those. So there's not going to be much. So maybe I'll go ahead and add a little bit of a book haul to my wrap up. Well, we shall see. What do you think? Should I? Yes? No? I don't know.